Yeah, big time. First of all, CSK, as Deep said, batting first. They haven't been able to do that all tournament. And then the use of his spinners with the team that they picked allowed him to mix spin and mix the seam, and the seam bowlers, bowl cutters. So absolutely the right decision. The one thing that you can't overlook, though, is 46 dot balls to CSK when they batted. They can't afford to be doing that going forward.
I think very significant for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, they've struggled chasing down totals. So from that perspective, batting first made a lot of sense. Also, the fact that he on a track that is kind of getting more tired and slowing down as the game would progress. I think he likes slowish tracks. I mean, he likes to control the game with his spinners. And I think that, again, is a very, very important aspect, and which also, I mean, batting first meant that he would have that advantage by his side as well. My thought is, I think MS as a captain is at his best when he backs his gut, right? And we've seen that before. There have been numerous number of matches where, you know, he's played a bowler, hasn't bowled enough. I think MSD is at his best when he backs his gut. And I think today was, again, a good example of that. He just, you know, backed himself, what he thought was going to happen on that surface. And the resources that he had, and I think that was again why he's such a successful captain.
People talk about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So we have to give them credit for Sam Curran and doing what he did at the top. Left-handedness, I think, was a key thing. As much as the intent, it was the left-handedness of Curran at the top, but also Jadeja's ball striking at the back end that really gave them a total. While it was par, it was something they could work with. It's like when you're playing a team and you have a good batting depth, you have an extra batsman in your lineup. It allows the top order to play freely, even though that extra batsman may not get a knock sometimes. It allows them to play freely. Similarly with bowling, Dhoni has the options and he can just make his choices as he goes along. We can talk about the ball holding up on the surface, but I also like the Yorkers at the end, the Yorkers and the wide Yorkers. Yorkers at leg stump from Bravo, wide Yorkers from Taku, and even at times Bravo with the wide Yorkers. The Yorkers still good money, value for money in this one.
As I mentioned before, I think he just saw the situation. He knew he had enough elbow room with the extra bowler there, and he played it. I mean that's how he leads his side. He's big on kind of choking the batting unit, which he did again, and he went with 7 overs of seam bowling right up front. Because the bowlers were looking good, they were doing their job. So even though they weren't, I mean, they did pick wickets as well. But the whole idea is of MSD's captaincy is choking in the first 6-7 overs, get a wicket, brilliant. Otherwise, then you have the spinners coming in and doing their job. So I think, it was like what we've seen MSD do before as well, especially on surfaces where the ball turns a bit and slows.
Well, that top. They didn't fire tonight. Bairstow Warner partnership didn't fire tonight, but we know that has fired before and it will fire again. But Kane Williamson, the run out as well, was not helpful to them with Manish Pandey. But Kane is invaluable in that lineup. Where the biggest problem is below Kane Williamson.
You need to look in that number 5, 6, 7. You've got to give a proper role to all these youngsters, Priyam Garg and Vijay Shankar, who's been around for a while, or Samad, if he plays. There has to be more clarity of what is expected of them. But Williamson, I mean, again, a masterclass. Listen, he hit 7 boundaries, right? And if you leave aside those 7 boundaries and 7 deliveries, he got 29 of 32. So that is important. That's what great players do. Look at Virat the other day. He played only 5 dot balls in that innings of 90. Same with Williamson today. 7 boundaries, but the way they wrote it was phenomenal.